day some new shit. Beefing with my bitch right now, but life's still lit. Gotta charge the mics. I guess y'all getting an insight on the pre-production. I guess we could say that, yeah. So right now, what we gonna do? We're gonna prepare the stream and the setup for everything we gotta do. It's 15:47. Um, right now, what I kind of do want to speak on is me. I got a few points I want to make, and I guess the thing is speaking on the progress that I'm making with the grind series. Obviously, we got the game earlier than expected. Remember, the plan was to just go straight PC this year, learn the game on PC, and then play console with these guys. But my boy Nick ended up getting me on the early access. He game shared, so that's money I didn't have to spend. Cause I'll be real, man, buying these games full price is crazy. Cause I didn't get into the PC drip until last year, right? To the end of last year, didn't even get anything. So now we kind of dealing with the fact that there's some key major updates. Like for one being, as I'm trying to wake myself up, one being that and I guess this series could be me just covering everything. It's gonna be a little rough though. I'm tired. I just woke up. Nigga was training all night, all kind of shit. But I guess one of the themes can be how I want to say it can be covering all different kind of topics. But um yeah, I don't know. But with 2K, we got a lot of shit going on right now, and it's gonna affect my series and how I'm gonna do things. So uh, since I'm sitting right here, I could just use this lab real quick. Still gotta charge it, but I gotta keep everything charged. But hopefully this shit ain't dying. But we'll just keep it on the charger for now. But yeah, for my lab series though, and just even one for my lab, yeah, feature and content series. We just gonna be covering the construction of my actual lab to be able to put together these projects, and then another one will be obviously the projects themselves. So we are in the lab, and 2K. Controversially, let's just cover the news, right? Because that's kind of what this series is going to be, is what I've been meaning to say. We just going to speak on, current topics and things in my mind, the news wire, the daily scuttlebutt. I don't know how you say that word, but whatever is up in my mind, what I'm saying, daily. So 2K is out, it's a controversy on, how wild the game is, what I'm saying, and how expensive it is to play, and and all this other stuff competitively, which we're gonna see. So for me, like I said, speaking on how my intent and my plan was to play the game, to learn it, because I'm going PC this year for my series. That's first and foremost. Financially, my incentive. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of everything. Let me make sure my sound's good. Yeah, financially, that's the bottom line. Like, that's the priority. So, um,
there's that, meaning I've invested years into equipment and things like that on a project that I'm creating, based on my career. Because also too, going with my OOT platform to promote everything and all my brands and stuff, has made the transition. But a lot of these kids, I'm starting to see they themselves, you know, they look at 2K as like a source of, yes, entertainment, infotainment. You know, they use it to kind of how like I use it, and we used it to play the game, get the basketball fix while trying new things. It's like a how you want to call it? Damn, what was the word I was going to use? Look how I can move forward, jab stepping. This is crazy. Oh well, y'all can't see this, but damn, what do I want to call that shit? What's the word I'm looking for? We could say like an emulator or a simulator, like a tool, a platform. I don't know the words I want to use, but basically, you know, like an engine where they can come in and uh, like try out different. Of course, the word is game, but we looking for a better term, like an engine where they can come and like experiment with different things, and it like simulates it and visualize it. Like emulator is not the word, but they can come on here, um, emulate and test out different um, techniques, thoughts, and just theories and ideas. You know what I'm saying? And concepts, and kind of imagine and estimate how these things would play out and feel. You know, it's like a creative little thing. I can't think of the word right now. That's gonna piss me off. But so yeah, you got that. What's going on? So a lot of the kids I train, you know, a lot of kids in general get a lot of their basketball knowledge from 2K, as we did. But my foundation was from real life, so a lot of their foundation, a lot of times, come from the game. So it's another way to reinforce and kind of influence some of the interaction, I guess you can say, that they're dealing with and facing. So all is good with me. So starting with what? Yeah. So in other news, I think I said this before. 2K has made separate, like they've made it unable to do roster share with PC and console, because niggas was basically going in there and finding hidden files and making them available for the console users. So somebody stated that it has something to do with the licensing rights of certain celebrities and things like that, having them on the game. And so they shut all that down. So niggas gonna ruin everything, you know what I'm saying? But it's all right. We better off being on PC anyways, you know what I'm saying? Even though there's a feature this year, as I'm doing right now, you could take your my player and place him in any roster. So I actually don't even have to be on a PC on console, or on console I can actually have my face scan on my created player this year of myself. It's really my player, but then I could go and edit the body to make it look like myself. So that's why y'all seen me making these different versions of myself. It's kind of my whole mentality always is to take what I have at the time and use it to get the job done. So whether I would have found an issue with the console version or the PC version, whatever, I'm just rocking out with what's right in front of me. So we've been playing. I've been looking at it like shit until I figure out. Oh, I was saying all that to say they did a lot of changes with the PC version. So it's there's a new system. They got to learn how to do the the engines and test the game and all this other stuff. So I'm like, well, since all that is fucked up, I might as well just play the game with my homies on as far as online and co-op mode. So you're gonna be seeing that theme where you see me use the console version to do a lot of my multiplayer and online play, and then the PC version for, of course, storylines and shit, because there's no cross share. So, but I was basically saying, like, shit, instead of wait while that time it was gonna take for them to figure out the game and unlock certain things and figure out if their mods were gonna carry over, I could spend that time also while doing everything else I had in life anyways. I'm like, I could just, work on my mod player and work on that shit, you know what I'm saying, and learn the game and kind of like conceptualize what I'll have to build on the PC platform for my series, because I'm going to have different series. So I'm like, shit, I might as well start on my console series, which is going to be the mod player, like the playing with my mod player on the park, the rec, the neighborhood experience, I guess you could say, the neighborhood. So the co-op experience, with my friends and shit. So my boy Nick actually game shared with me, so I felt an obligation to jump on there with him. And everybody wanted me to make my demi build, I guess you could say, my ideal build, which I'm gonna do this year, just in the event of having niggas talking shit. Because my whole claim to fame is I am the best nigga to play 2K because I'm so good that I was able to make myself, you know what I'm saying? So I look at it like that. But, like, on this shit, you get a lot of discourse of niggas saying you trash, this, that, the third. And to go back and forth with niggas that barely know basketball it's pointless. It's ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? Even though when I stream, my whole point is going to expose how basketball has died, you know what I'm saying? And how it's turned into a game of casuals, you know what I'm saying? Like, completely. So it's just like 2K is a main thing to have everybody thinking they know everything. Like, even the kids I train. Like, bro, these little niggas be trying to tell me shit. I'm like, bro, I already played basketball, varsity basketball, already got to a certain level. You're just a fucking kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know more about basketball than you. I'm twice your fucking age. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to start saying that even more. Like, nigga, I was twice your age. I lived your life twice already, gang. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whether I'm at where you want to be or not, really I'm at where you want to be because I'm alive and I'm thriving. You know what I'm saying? But, like I say, bro, when you're younger, you look at older people and you think potential is limitless, which it is, but what your understanding, what your naivety keeps you from is understanding that your potential is limited. So, yes, you could be whatever you want to be, but what you want to be is already hard-coded in your DNA. But that's another thing for another subject. But I be on here arguing with niggas just trying to play, just trying to make content to, edify the casual basketball community, you know what I'm saying? And kind of create the element of some expertise, you know what I'm saying? Using these forums, you know what I'm saying? Because you do have niggas that use 2K to coach and, display things. It is an animator. You know what I'm saying? So It is a, you know, a model based system. So I'm just I'm tired of telling niggas that the reason I'm better than them is because of the fact that I'm so good at the game, I can make myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I can make myself and compete with other people. That's how good I am at the game. That shows my level of understanding of basketball. You know what I'm saying? And it's a challenge for me and it expands my mind. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do it. I could easily, you know, like when we playing with these dudes and they build all these, like, bro, think about it. And I be having to explain this to my homies. Like, you got niggas who are literally dedicated. They have PCs built, right? To test the game and test all of the badges, test all of, they get paid for these things. Professional hackers, I guess you could say that, get paid to reverse engineer and study the game of 2K and then tell everybody what the best moves are for them to play competitively, whether those people are making money or not, which the market for being a 2K player and a streamer is opening up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the better you are at the game, the more you can use that to elevate your profile. And we're seeing streamers get into other entertainment industries, you know, starting from streaming on games. So as far as like it's just a game, it is just a game, but it's an industry now. You know what I'm saying? That is very lucrative, especially among the youth. You know, it's like any other job, you got to be a certain age. This stuff probably one of the only industries where you can be a self-made entrepreneur and control your own brand and image. So that's what it's turned to now. You know what I'm saying? So the incentive, if that's the demand or that's the value that it has within the market, the creator, the producer, being 2K, is going to adjust to the demands of that consumer base because all these kids want to be streamers now. They want to share their clips. Everybody wants to be an influencer, right? So you know, the market's going to always go where the demand and the dollar is most. So there's more people in the world that don't know basketball than there are, you know, quasi purists like myself, want to be purists, you know, self proclaim or self considered purists, you know. Like me, I understand in life, I'm understanding that I'm on the quest to be a purist, you know what I'm saying? Like in any field, like I want to learn because I understand that's what a knowledge and value is in anything. Anything you do, you want to have as much information about it as possible, and that means you have to go to the source, and you know, you got to divest yourself into the historical aspect of everything, you know. So that's where I'm at with it. So I use the game as a teaching tool, and of course recreationally, you know what I'm saying? It's just to create some kind of allegorical content for the youth, you know. So that's where I'm at with that. And if you wanted to see, hold on, I'm over here getting up a million shots as we speak, you know. This is how I get good. I break down the mechanics and things like that. Because like I say, my whole thing is to make myself so that I can prove my theories right and test my theories. And like I say, I'm always studying the game. And when I just, you know, like I'm like a scientist with this shit. You know, I'm really like an aspiring fan. You know, every time I discover something like a footwork pattern or something like that, you know, I was just doing that to give y'all the visual. But I go back and I study something else. Like, oh damn! Like now that I understand how important footwork is, let me go look at the footwork of a Bob Cousy, a Jerry West. Maybe that's had to be what made them great. You know what I mean? Because other jump shooting and thing techniques came from that. You know what I'm saying? And understanding the remarkability of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm about, you know, because basketball is an industry, especially where bruised young black youth, especially, can it's a cultural thing. It's an industry where we're allowed to dominate and enter. You know, if we're qualified, that's one of the areas they, you know, that we have an advantage in. So I'll tell, and you could use it as I always did, use basketball and sports and things like that as a platform to enrich myself and increase my, um, I guess you could say like my networking arc. You know what I'm saying? Let
me check my phone. I'm wasting, man. Shit, let me measure that motherfucker. Damn, where's my measuring tape? I'm looking around like that shit just gonna pop up, but nah, what was I saying? But yeah, like so that's how I use the game, and that's my marketing tactic. So I always state that so niggas can understand my incentive, my intent, my purpose with everything. What my priority, I guess you could say, right? Because some of you niggas just play the game for relief and to feel like you playing basketball, which I do myself. That's why I like being mic'd up, you know, because I could just speak freely, you know, and it's less formal. So my thoughts are gonna flow. So I could think off the top. I could be more genuine, right? Come off a little more natural, right? So naturally, I'm cultivating a character online, of course, where I'm against like the casual. I'm against the casual expert. Somebody fucking pretending they're an expert, and somebody could look at me like that, obviously, which is why, you know, I'm doing the work to earn my stripes. But the casual, um, self-assumed expert, where you get people who barely know anything about basketball, but think because they watch it, they're an authority figure. So like me, I'm actually every day doing the work in real life, real basketball circles to qualify myself to be um, a so-called expert, you know what I'm saying, or credible, you know what I mean? Like, so when we get online, and the reason I say this